WeatherScope.
And good morning, I'm Kristen Dodd alongside Mark Mancuso, and it's a big week here in Atlanta, at least for the both of us. I'm having my house painted, you're having your roof redone. The weather is going to cooperate because October is do-it-yourself month, and I don't want to have to be doing it myself.
And me neither. Work too hard during the day and like to sit back and relax, but it's going to be hard to relax with the bang, bang, bang on the roof all day, right?
Definitely.
And in the southeast, the big problem of the past couple of days has been the rain. That's moving out. And as you mentioned, a nice prolonged period of dry weather coming on in. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, yesterday we saw the rains come in late in the day, and it was locally heavy at times. But the good news is all that rain is out of the picture now. So unless your area normally has problems with standing water, the commute this morning should not be a problem. And next up will be the windy conditions. So today you can put away the umbrellas, but be prepared for some gusty winds and cooler temperatures. Much of Florida, though, is free to clean up from its weekend of flooding. Southern part of the state, including the Keys, will still have to keep a check on the showers today. The state has become saturated in rain, and just a little bit more could cause more problems, especially around Tampa, where the area picked up about 14 inches of rain over the weekend. Good news is that the rain is over for the most part, but the streams and rivers are swollen and they'll slowly subside. Well, that's the peek ahead to Friday. You can see how nice it's going to be this week. But let's talk about this morning's weather and get you back to the water vapor loop. And as we check on this morning's conditions, low pressure around the Great Lakes is booting out the low pressure in the south. See it there swirling right up the east coast. So as it moves out of the picture, much drier air in the south. The only place where the moisture lingers is South Florida, and that's where we see the showers this morning coming into Monroe and Collier and Dade and Broward counties. As we head farther north, though, it's a pretty tranquil scene. You see the front moving its way off the mountains and through western Virginia and western North Carolina. Few brief showers associated with that. But behind the trough, the air cools and dries a little bit, but behind the front, this is where it's really nice. We're in the mid-50s in Little Rock. Look at all the rain that came down yesterday and this morning. You can see it's sweeping rapidly up the east coast here. Darker green indicates where we've seen an inch to an inch and a half of rain. And that did promote some rock slides in Cambria County over here yesterday in PA. But wind and rain this morning moving rapidly through the region. So the leaves, which are starting to turn in upstate New York and northern New England, will start to be yanked off the branches there. So that could add to the slickness here as wind and rain and falling leaves make for some slick travel in northern Vermont, especially around Burlington and Montpelier. Most of the rain, though, will be this morning as you drive home from work. Should be nice and dry, but this morning a little damp. 55 in the Capital District, while to the south of Philadelphia, it's 67. Kristen?
High pressure is dominating the plains and the west, keeping the area mostly clear. Heat remains cranked up for one more day in the southwest, while in the Pacific Northwest, well, you're on the verge of a new system that will begin creating stormy conditions late today. Let's go ahead and check out the west. Our surface map here, high pressure controlling much of the weather, keeping skies dry in California. Although that may sound good, it's not really the best of news for firefighters who are battling a raging forest fire just to the northeast of Yuba City in Northern California. As many as 100 homes have been destroyed, and as you can see, no help from Mother Nature today. The rain is not going to be coming to Northern California, but firefighters are hoping that by Tuesday they will bring that fire under control. You can see what is coming into the Pacific Northwest in the form of a front, a few clouds with that front. No rain right now. But as that front heads in and more fronts throughout the week, it looks like it's going to be a soggy week for folks in Seattle, for all the relatives in Tacoma. Get ready to dig out that rain jacket because it is going to be a wet one for the next several days. The reason why? Well, you can see our big trough that's sitting offshore. The impulses will be riding along that trough and crashing into the Pacific Northwest, and that spells wet weather throughout much of the week. Well, it's been hot weather in California yesterday with temperatures running well above average. Normally this time of year, Sacramento, you would be at about 85 degrees. You were all the way up to 95, and even some areas set record high temperatures. Michelle and Stephen in Lompoc, you rose all the way up to 100 degrees. Oakland topped out at 97, and Moffett Field in California, you set a new record high at 94 degrees. Right now we're seeing a cool 55 in Denver. Salt Lake City, 40, even cooler at 47 degrees, and in Albuquerque you have 60. Watch out for the winds today in the Midwest and in the plains. We have a very tight pressure gradient, and that means we are going to see those gusts today at times up to 50 miles an hour in the areas shaded in the darker shades of blue. Right now we're already seeing those gusts up to 28 miles an hour in North Dakota and also in northern Minnesota. So that also is going to be blowing around some of the leaves that are beginning to just hang very loosely off of those trees. We're also seeing a little bit of wet weather in the area.